Hello and welcome to One Day at a Time, your 66-day beginner guide where we teach you everything there is to know about how to start your health and fitness journey. Follow One Day at a Time Club on Instagram and like the post daily to track your progress. Enjoy the workout.
Hi guys, how are you? Hope you've had an awesome week behind you with our amazing team doing some fabulous workouts. And so welcome now to a little Friday stretch and active recovery where we're still working our muscles but in a really gentle way to restore blood flow and help them mend and build back stronger. Today what I'm going to do is take you through a very simple yoga flow. It's a kind of a ground-based flow, and it's really one of the building blocks of a lot of yoga practices, so it will stand you in good stead for yoga practice. And it's going to wake up the whole body because, as I said before, yoga is about using every single part of us at once well to make sure that we are firing on all cylinders. But it's really going to focus on hip articulation, shoulders, strength here, your spine, and working the arms a little bit too. To start off with, we're just going to start in a rest pose to open the hips. We're going to come into what's called child's pose. So on the ground, you want hips to heels. Take your knees nice and wide to start off with, so that you give your torso space to lie down in between those thighs, to fold down. And then you can rest your head on the mat, so release any tension through the neck and the head, let the weight of the head go. And then, as you breathe, nice and long through the torso. And then you can bring the arms out in front of you. Make sure you're not reaching too hard or too much, so I don't need to create tension in your neck and your shoulders, so you can relax the shoulders a little bit. And make sure these hands are awake, so they're not just hanging out there, chilling, doing nothing. This is active recovery, so your hands and your strength through your hands and your wrists is going to be really important for the coming weeks, so let's just keep our attention to those as well. And then just breathe here for a couple of breaths, and I want you to just tune into any areas of tension in the body. So you might feel them in the hips, the lower back, the shoulders, the neck, wherever. And then I just want you to kind of wiggle and breathe into those areas. So remember, we breathe in each pose because we put ourselves into the pose, and then the breathing that we do whilst we're there will help open us out in those specific areas. So breathing, you'll feel your breath push down into the hips here. You'll feel the lower back, the thighs, and you'll feel it up into the shoulders as well. Alright, then when we're ready, you're going to inhale, come forward into a tabletop position to start off with, just to kind of readjust, bring the knees underneath the hips, and kind of get stable. And then take a nice deep breath in, tuck the toes, and then we're going to go back to what's called a downward facing dog. So you tuck your toes, you lift your knees away from the mat, you push your hips to the sky, we let the head go, and we're basically like an upside down triangle. That's what we're going for here. And adjust, play around with this so it feels comfortable for you. You've all got different length, legs, arms, torsos, so everybody's downward facing dog will look a little bit different. The goal really is a nice straight line through the hands, through the arms and shoulders up to the hips, and then the legs are just going to support you however they need to. You might want to walk them out a little bit like this, shifting your weight from right foot to left foot. Open out the hamstrings a little bit. And then the hamstrings, if they're tight, you might find they're pulling on your lower back a little bit. So that's why we bend the knees, to just take any pressure off our lower back. If it's there for you and you want to relax those heels down a little bit more, go for it. But learn to support your body, find out what it needs and give it. That's all the goal is here. Not the pose, not flexibility, but listening to what we need and giving it. Alright, pushing through the fingers as much as the palms. Make sure your hands are shoulder width distance at least apart, so that your neck and your shoulders have space and you're not creating tension anymore. Okay, good. This is a really basic and common and repetitive pose in yoga, downward facing dog. Then when you're ready, you're going to inhale. We're going to come forward into a plank, which you may find that the guys will also take you through in their workouts, but we're just going to do some different stuff with it. So all we're going to do is just be here, and you just start to feel weight through the hands, weight through the wrists, and you can start adjusting, making sure, is the bum in the air, where is everything? Focus straight through heels, hips and shoulders. And we're not going to spend very long here. It's really a transition from downward facing dog, coming forward so that we're able to lower ourselves down to the mat. Now lowering, to start off with, I suggest you just drop your knees so that you can build strength gradually. Keeping the shoulders back, so we're not arching, we're not sinking. Heart is long, heart is forward, neck is long, sorry. And we're going to just bring our elbows into the side. So it's not like a push-up where you go outwards. You tuck them in, you keep the elbows in tight to your body. So we're working our triceps, which is the back of the upper arm. And then you just gently lower down to the mat. From here, if you've gone down on your knees, we're then going to gently open the front of the body and push ourselves away from the mat to an upward facing dog. That's what this is called. So it's bending the back, stretching through the front body, learning to keep our shoulders down away from our ears, neck long. You might see some people doing this in yoga. That's not very good for the back of your neck. Keep the neck nice and long and engage the thighs and the glutes. So no slackness through the legs. Engage them so that they are supporting your lower back. When you're ready, you can exhale, push back to your downward facing dog again. And there we are. So we'll do it again. That's really all we're doing here is this building block of a flow. So we're in a downward facing dog. You can take a couple of breaths here to reset. Remember, hips to the sky, straight through the back. You nod the head yes. Remember to relax the neck. And when you're ready, inhaling forward to plank. Last time I did the dropped knees. I'm going to show you the straight legs this time. Elbows to the sides, lowering with control, and then gently sweeping through. Heart opens, stretching across the chest by keeping our shoulders back. Working the lower back, working the thighs, stretching the whole of the front body, and then back to downward facing dog again. And if you like, you guys can also just drop back down to your knees and do a child's pose and breathe to recover and to reset. Because you're really working up some big muscles here. Working up through the shoulders and the upper arms. We are also supporting a lot of our weight through our arms in our downward facing dog. And you're waking up your thighs and your glutes and our lower back muscles when we do our up dog and we stretch through the front body. So we'll do it one more time to really illustrate the connection of movement with breath and how that helps our movement. Because not only does it feed the muscles, but we're working with the expansion and the contraction of our body. So we'll go downward facing dog. Take a breath in and take a breath out here. Again, to get comfortable. And when you're ready, inhaling forward to plank. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, we open. And exhale, we come back again. Alright, you guys? It's a very simple flow, but a really important one for yoga. Don't forget, when you come forward to this plank, always drop your knees as much as you need to, and keep the elbows tucked nice and tight to the sides. You're going to build up a lot of strength this way, working your core a little bit here too, so that you stay straight when you lower. When you come through, shoulders down, thighs engaged, look after your lower back, really important. And then either back to downward facing dog, or you can just drop yourself back to your child's pose. And relax. And again, once you've done those movements and you're back to your child's pose and you breathe again, you'll feel the body more open. You'll be more in tune with your breath, feeding you, restoring your body, and filling out some of the space that you just created with middle back bend, creating length in the spine. We've opened up our shoulders and put weight in our arms to support us. It's all asking for oxygen, it's all asking for breath. So, there you go. A really basic but important building block for yoga. And you can play around with that anytime you like, just to wake up the shoulders, wake up the hips, Even waking up the feet when we come forward to plank. It's really connecting all bits of the body and getting you used to moving with the breath. So we'll come back to this later down the line in connecting, kind of getting from the ground up to some standing poses. But that's just a good building block for you now. You guys have great weekends and I'll see you very soon.
Well done, guys. Thanks so much for joining me for today's session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well as the notification bell so that you can stay up to date on all our videos. You guys have an amazing week and I'll see you soon.